My spouse presented me with a timepiece for our anniversary, yet each instance I wore it, a sense of unease and distress would overcome me. I resolved to dispose of it. The proprietor of the pawn shop was aghast and exclaimed, "Where did you acquire it? You must report this to the authorities immediately. This is a matter of grave importance." And before we proceed, kindly inform us from which nation you are observing this video. Enjoy the narration. On their wedding anniversary, Alex presented Anna with a velvet box. Nestled within on a cushion of cream silk lay a vintage watch. Its ivory dial was encircled by a delicate gold bezel, and the strap, crafted from supple, aged leather, felt exquisitely pleasant to the touch. "Happy anniversary, my love," Alex whispered. His eyes shone with genuine affection. He removed the watch from its case and gently fastened it onto Anna's wrist. "I found it at an antique shop. It reminded me of you, elegant and timeless, just like you." Anna admired her gift. The watch was truly magnificent, possessing an aura of history and a uniquely refined beauty. She thanked Alex, embracing and kissing him. His thoughtfulness and care had always meant the world to her. Alex knew precisely how to delight her. The entire evening, Alex was exceptionally tender and attentive. He prepared her favorite meal, roast duck with apples, lit candles, and played soft, romantic music. They reminisced about their early years of marriage, shared laughter over amusing anecdotes, and dreamt about their future. Anna felt blissful and cherished, convinced their bond was only deepening with time. However, on the very first day Anna wore the watch to work, she began to feel unwell. Initially, it was a mild wave of weakness and anxiety, as if an unspoken apprehension was brewing deep within her. This was followed by a subtle headache and a touch of dizziness. Anna attributed it to exhaustion and her demanding schedule at the university. She was an instructor, and it was currently exam preparation season. "I'm probably just overworked," she mused, attempting to concentrate on her lecture, but the weakness persisted and in fact intensified. She found it increasingly difficult to focus. Her words became jumbled, and black spots began to dance before her eyes. Anna realized she urgently needed to sit down. After her classes concluded, she returned home and immediately removed the watch. The moment it left her wrist, a soothing coolness washed over her. The weakness gradually receded, her head cleared, and the anxiety subsided. Anna was taken aback. Could the watch possibly be the cause of her indisposition? She dismissed it as a mere coincidence. The following day, she decided to wear the watch again and observe the outcome. The next day, the same pattern repeated itself. As soon as Anna put on the watch, her condition deteriorated. Weakness, dizziness, nausea. All the symptoms returned with renewed vigor. When she took it off, she experienced significant relief. Anna also began to notice other peculiarities. A faint redness appeared on her wrist where the watch clasp made contact. Her skin seemed irritated and slightly inflamed. She confided her concerns to Alex, but he brushed them aside, suggesting she was imagining things. "My dear, you're being far too sensitive," he said, embracing her. "It's probably just an allergy to the metal. Don't give it another thought. If it gets worse, we'll see a doctor." Anna felt that Alex wasn't taking her seriously. This was typical of him whenever she felt something was amiss. He would often remark that she was overly emotional and prone to exaggeration, but Anna couldn't disregard her own sensations. She sensed that something was fundamentally wrong with the watch. Her intuition urged caution. She started observing Alex more closely. It seemed to her that his demeanor had shifted. He had become more withdrawn, irritable, frequently stayed late at work, and would often retreat to the balcony to speak on the phone in hushed tones. Anna attempted to discuss her feelings with him, but he evaded the conversations, citing exhaustion and work-related issues. She felt a growing wall of misunderstanding and distance between them. One evening, while Alex was in the shower, Anna couldn't resist the urge to glance at his phone. She knew it was wrong, but she needed to validate her suspicions. She quickly scrolled through his call logs and messages, but found nothing incriminating. Then she accessed his email, and her gaze caught on a particular message. The email originated from an unfamiliar address and contained only a few words. "The watch is ready, awaiting payment." Anna felt a chill run down her spine. What did this mean? She quickly closed the email and turned off the phone. Her heart pounded furiously. She was at a loss for what to think. From that moment on, Anna resolved to launch her own investigation. She had to uncover what Alex was hiding and why the watch made her feel so unwell. She sensed her very life was in peril. Her first course of action was to contact her friend Irina. Irina was a lawyer and had always been a reliable source of support for Anna in difficult situations. Irina listened intently to Anna's account and pledged her assistance. "I believe you need to have that watch examined," Irina stated. "There might be a hidden malfunction or defect, or more ominously, something dangerous concealed within it." Anna agreed. She knew she needed to find an expert who could inspect the watch and provide a professional assessment. But whom could she trust? To whom could she confide her suspicions? Irina, after listening attentively to Anna, furrowed her brow. "Redness on your wrist. Anna, this isn't something to take lightly. Even if it's just a metal allergy, it's best to be cautious. And then there are your symptoms. It's all too coincidental with wearing the watch. Get it checked. At the very least, try to sell it, get rid of it." Anna nodded, a growing sense of fear tightening its grip. Irina's words, coupled with her own mounting suspicions, felt like an immense burden. "You're right, Iyer. I'll take it to a pawn shop, just to find out what's wrong with it." The following day, steeling her resolve, Anna made her way to a modest pawn shop on the city's outskirts. The establishment appeared unassuming, yet its sign proclaiming appraisal and purchase of watches and jewelry lent it an air of credibility. She chose this particular shop, hoping for discretion and professionalism. Inside, the air was redolent with the scent of old wood and polish. Behind the counter stood a middle-aged man with thick graying eyebrows and observant eyes. His name tag read, "Mikhail, Appraiser." Anna approached the counter, striving to conceal her agitation. "Hello?" she managed, her voice trembling slightly. "I'd like to have this watch appraised." From her handbag, she produced the vintage watch Alex had gifted her and placed it on the counter. Mikhail took the watch, donned a pair of spectacles, and began to examine it meticulously. He turned it over in his hands, peered at it under a magnifying glass, and inspected the mechanism. Anna watched him, her breath held captive. Several minutes passed before Mikhail looked up from the watch. His expression had shifted. His usual attentiveness was replaced by a strange, wary look. He cleared his throat, as if gathering his thoughts. "This watch," he began, his voice sounding somewhat muffled, "has been altered." Anna felt a shiver course down her spine. "Altered? What do you mean?" Mikhail gazed at her intently. "I've been working with watches for many years. This timepiece is vintage, valuable, but something has clearly been added to it. Something sinister." He picked up the watch again and pointed to the clasp, showing it to Anna. "See this tiny seam? Something has been soldered here. It's been done very skillfully, professionally, but it's not an original component." Anna leaned in, trying to discern what Mikhail was indicating. She spotted a barely perceptible seam, almost blending seamlessly with the metal. "What could it be?" she asked, a growing panic tightening in her chest. Mikhail sighed. "I can't say for sure without performing an analysis, but I have my suspicions. Very grim suspicions." He retrieved a small tool from beneath the counter and carefully opened the clasp. Inside, nestled within, was a minuscule hair-thin capillary tube. Mikhail donned gloves and very delicately extracted the capillary. "There's something here," he stated, examining it against the light. "Some kind of liquid, colorless, odorless, but I'm certain it's not water." Anna felt the world around her begin to swim. "What could it be?" she repeated, a wave of nausea rising in her throat. Mikhail looked directly into her eyes. "I'm not a specialist, but based on my experience, this resembles a slow-acting poison, something that would gradually degrade your health without leaving obvious traces." She recoiled from the counter. "Poison in the watch? But who could—" She trailed off, recalling Alex's peculiar behavior, his evasive answers, his debts. Pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place in her mind, forming a horrifying tableau. "Have you been wearing this watch?" Mikhail inquired, his voice laced with concern. Anna nodded. "Yes, every day. It was a gift from my husband for our anniversary." Mikhail shook his head. "You need to report this to the police immediately and trust no one. Absolutely no one except the authorities, and perhaps your most trusted confidants who you can truly rely on with your life. Otherwise, it might be too late. He spoke softly, but each word resonated like a death knell. Anna stood frozen, unable to utter a sound. Fragments of thoughts, memories, and suspicions swirled in her mind. Alex, her husband, wanted to kill her. For what reason? Seeing her state, Mikhail poured her a glass of water. Compose yourself, he urged. You need to act now. Your safety is paramount. Anna took a few sips of water, trying to regain her composure. What should I do? She asked, looking at Mikhail with a flicker of hope. Firstly, do not wear that watch again. Secondly, contact the police. Tell them everything you know. Show them the watch, the capillary. They will conduct an examination and determine what this substance is. And thirdly, be cautious. Do not reveal to anyone that you know about this, especially not your husband. Anna nodded, a sense of determination gradually returning to her. Thank you, she said to Mikhail. Thank you so much. You've saved my life. Mikhail shook his head. I simply did my job, but now everything depends on you. Be strong and seek the truth. Anna left the pawn shop feeling utterly drained. The world around her seemed alien and hostile. She no longer knew whom she could trust. The only person she had believed in turned out to be her adversary. Anna returned home with a feeling as if a shard of ice had lodged itself in her mind. Mikhail's words, the warning about poison, echoed in her consciousness. Alex. Her Alex with whom she had shared her life, her dreams, her bed, could be implicated in this nightmare. She had to be sure. She couldn't afford to be paralyzed by fear. Pretending to be oblivious, Anna attempted to carry on as usual. Alex greeted her with a perfunctory smile, inquiring about her new dress fitting. That was the impromptu lie she fabricated to explain her absence. She replied distractedly, citing fatigue, and hurried to the shower, eager to wash away not only the city's grime, but also the sticky sensation of betrayal. After dinner, which passed in a heavy silence, Anna feigned a headache and retreated to her study. She needed to take action. Knowing that Alex could enter at any moment, she worked swiftly and discreetly. Her first priority was to examine his computer. Alex was not particularly meticulous about security, and his password, as she had suspected, was far too simple: their wedding date. His email at first glance revealed nothing suspicious: work correspondence, bills, greetings from colleagues. Anna delved deeper into the archives, sifting through old messages until she stumbled upon a correspondence with someone named Svetlana. The emails, dated over the past few months, were distinctly non-business related. Alex, I miss you. When will we see each other again? Svetlana wrote. Soon, my dear. We just need to wait a little longer. Everything will be settled soon, and we'll be together, Alex replied. Anna felt her cheeks flush. Infidelity. It was painful, but not as terrifying as the realization that this betrayal might be merely a facet of a more monstrous plan. She copied the correspondence, ensuring no detail was overlooked. His phone was her next target. This proved more challenging. Alex always kept his phone with him and was careful to keep it locked. Anna recalled seeing him enter his passcode once when he thought she was asleep. She tried to mentally reconstruct the sequence of numbers, and to her surprise, it worked. On his phone, she found further confirmation of her fears. In addition to the intimate messages from Svetlana, there was correspondence with an unknown number discussing sensitive matters and guaranteeing complete anonymity. In one message, Alex wrote, "The most important thing is that everything appears natural. No suspicions." Anna felt the ground slipping from beneath her. It was too much, too many coincidences. She remembered Irina's advice and decided to seek her help in finding the jeweler who had crafted the watch. The following day, using her connections, Irina located the jeweler's widow, Elena Petrovna. The elderly woman lived in a small house on the outskirts of town. Anna, attempting to mask her agitation, explained about the vintage watch to Elena Petrovna and asked if she recalled her husband creating anything similar on commission. Elena Petrovna remained silent for a long moment, absently toying with her rosary beads. "My husband made many custom pieces," she finally said in a soft voice. "But one order, it deeply troubled him. He was very secretive in the months before his death, saying he was being threatened. Anna held her breath. What was this commission? She asked, trying not to betray her eagerness. A watch? Elena Petrovna replied. A vintage watch that needed to be modified. The client insisted on a peculiar design for the clasp, emphasizing its extreme importance. My husband was reluctant at first, but eventually agreed. He desperately needed the money. Who was the client? Anna inquired, striving for a nonchalant tone. Elena Petrovna shook her head. No, he was very discreet, only stating that it was a very influential person. And how did he die? Anna asked. A heart attack, Elena Petrovna responded. Sudden. He never complained of heart problems. Anna felt a chill descend upon her. Everything was coalescing into a horrifying narrative. Alex, his debts, his mistress, the poisoned watch, the jeweler's demise, all pointed to her being the victim of a meticulously orchestrated crime. Upon returning home, Anna felt cornered. She understood that Alex was monitoring her every move. She had to act decisively and swiftly. Late that evening, once Alex had fallen asleep, Anna retrieved the USB drive containing the collected evidence. She gazed for a long time at her husband's sleeping face, trying to comprehend how she could have been so mistaken about him, how she could have failed to see his true nature, hidden beneath a mask of love and care. She knew she needed help. She could no longer trust anyone but Irina. She called her and requested an urgent meeting. Irina, I need your help, Anna said in a trembling voice when they met in a quiet cafe. Alex wants to kill me. Irina listened intently to Anna's account, not interrupting her at any point. When Anna finished, Irina took her hand and squeezed it firmly. We must go to the police, Irina stated. You have the evidence. We will seek justice. Anna nodded. She knew this was the only way. She could no longer live in fear. She had to stop Alex before he could bring his monstrous plan to completion. Her first step was to create backup copies of all of Alex's correspondence, the letters from his mistress, discussions about his debts, peculiar internet searches concerning painless poisons and treatments for nervous disorders. Every file, every line, had to become part of the evidence. Anna felt like an archaeologist excavating ancient ruins, except instead of artifacts, she was unearthing depravity and deceit. She reread Mikhail's report from the pawnshop owner. It was clear and concise. Vintage watch modified, contains a hidden mechanism with a slow-acting poison. Accompanying the report were magnified photographs, clearly demonstrating the microscopic capillary within the clasp. Anna understood that this was insufficient for a court of law. An independent forensic analysis was required. Irina, as always, came to her aid. She arranged a meeting with a toxicology expert willing to analyze the substance contained within the watch. The 2 days of waiting stretched out like an eternity. Anna barely slept, her mind constantly replaying possible scenarios. She feared Alex might suspect something, that he might try to flee, or worse, complete his plan. Finally, Irina called with news. The forensic analysis confirmed the presence of a poisonous substance in the watch. It's thallium, Irina said, her voice sounding grim. A slow-acting poison that mimics symptoms easily mistaken for common ailments. Prolonged exposure leads to severe neurological problems and, ultimately, death. Anna felt a tremor run through her body. Thallium. Now everything made sense. The dizziness, the weakness, the nausea, none of it was accidental, but the result of cold-blooded poisoning. Alex had planned her death, masquerading it as a natural occurrence. She recalled her conversation with the jeweler's widow, how she had spoken of a peculiar commission, the urgency, the mysterious client who refused to reveal his name. Anna took the widow's phone number from Irina and called her. "Hello, this is Anna," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "We spoke earlier about a commission for vintage watches." "Yes, I remember," the widow replied, a note of apprehension in her voice. "I need your help. I need you to confirm with the police that it was Alex who placed this order." "Good heavens," the widow whispered. "I suspected as much. He came the day after our conversation, offering me money to remain silent." "Thank you," Anna said. "Your testimony is crucial." Having gathered all the evidence, the correspondence, the expert report, the jeweler's widow's testimony, Anna decided it was time to act. She called the police and requested a meeting with the investigating officer. The meeting took place the following day. Anna sat in the office of the investigator, Captain Petrov, and recounted her story. Petrov listened attentively, without interruption, occasionally posing clarifying questions. He appeared weary but professional. Anna felt she could trust him. She laid out all the collected evidence on the table: photographs of the watch, the forensic reports, printed emails, the jeweler's widow's statement. Petrov examined each document carefully. "You have serious accusations, Anna," he said when he finished reading. "We need substantial evidence to arrest your husband." "I have everything," Anna replied, looking him directly in the eye. "I know he tried to kill me, and I am prepared to prove it." Petrov nodded. "We will conduct an investigation. If everything is confirmed, we will take action." The next few hours dragged by as if in slow motion. Anna awaited news, her phone never far from reach. She feared Alex might suspect something, that he might escape or destroy the evidence. Finally, around 6 in the evening, her phone rang. It was Petrov. "Anna, we have apprehended your husband," he stated. "He is in custody. Come to the station. You will need to provide your statement." Anna felt an overwhelming wave of relief wash over her. It was over. She was safe. At the police station, Anna provided a detailed statement. She recounted everything she knew about the watch, the symptoms, Alex's debts, his affair, the commission to the jeweler. She answered the investigators' questions calmly and confidently. Meanwhile, Alex denied all accusations. He maintained that the watch was merely a gift, that he knew nothing of any poison, that he loved Anna and would never harm her. He insisted she had fabricated everything, that she had lost her mind. But the evidence was irrefutable. The forensic analysis confirmed the presence of poison in the watch. The correspondence with his mistress and his financial obligations provided a motive. The jeweler's widow's testimony confirmed that Alex had commissioned the watch. A few days later, Alex was charged with attempted murder. He was arrested and placed in pretrial detention. The investigation was ongoing. Authorities uncovered evidence that Alexei had been engaged in fraudulent activities for an extended period and maintained connections with organized crime syndicates. It was revealed that he was deeply burdened by debt and had schemed to collect insurance money following Anna's demise. Furthermore, it transpired that the jeweler's death was not an accident. Alexei was implicated in the jeweler's murder as a means to conceal the procurement of poisoned timepieces. Anna learned of these revelations through the news. She was seated in her apartment, gazing at the television screen, and felt a surge of fury and revulsion welling up within her. She found it inconceivable that she had coexisted with such a monstrous individual. After enduring all she had, Anna required a considerable period to recover. She sought the assistance of a psychologist to navigate the profound trauma she had experienced. She relocated, changed her employment, and altered her social circle. Her objective was to embark on a fresh beginning. 1 year later, Alexei's trial took place. He was convicted of all charges and sentenced to a lengthy prison term. Anna opted not to attend the proceedings. She had no desire to confront Alexei, nor did she wish to expend her energy and emotions on him. Her sole aspiration was to erase him from her memory, permanently. Following the trial, Anna purchased a new watch for herself. It was not an antique piece, but rather a contemporary, fashionable, and dependable accessory. As she fastened it onto her wrist, she felt a sense of renewed vitality awaken within her. This watch symbolized that her time now belonged exclusively to her. She was liberated, she had persevered, and she would find happiness.